Hello, happy Thursday, coming to you all live. So good to see you. Sorry for my hiatus. I was on the road with an injured knee, lots of different things going on. But I hope you're doing well. I hope the week of Halloween craziness and all the candy and all the joy and all the tiredness after that sugar rush are treating you well. I wanted to jump in and share a few thoughts of something that came up recently that really had me thinking. When our students are working with data, it often can be hard for them to kind of remember or fully realize what we mean when we say our understanding, our claims, our conclusions, our knowledge about a certain thing changes when we have more data, when we have more information. And this filters in and impacts pretty much all of the work that we do when it comes to working with data, data science, natural science, social science, all different ways that we work with data. And as I was talking with some teachers last week, I had this realization of this great lived example in my life. And so I just share it out in case it's a helpful example for you to think about or for your students to think about as as we gain more data and more information and we have a better sense of things because of this increased amount of observations and measurements and information coming into us, we can change course. We can change what we think. And this has to do with the fact that my child, my eldest child, is on his last day of being 10 and will turn 11 tomorrow. So, for those of you that are quick at doing math, that means he was born in 2012. And what's really interesting as an adult human who has lots of allergies from a family of lots of allergies, the recommendations for us expecting mothers and parents dramatically changed in 2011. So, up until that point, for about, I don't know, 15, 20 years or so, I'm not an allergist, so don't quote me on that number, but for a long time, the running understanding among allergists and pediatricians, based on data that they were working with, was that you should avoid exposing an infant, a toddler, a young child to any known allergens in the family for about somewhere between 4 to 6 years, depending on the allergen, depending on the family history, different things like that. And then in the early 2010s, people got together and looked at copious numbers of studies, lots and lots of information. They reevaluated the information. We do this constantly, where we make decisions, we go forward, we take actions, and then we go back and we revisit the data and think about and revisit new data that's come forward and think about, should we still make the same decision? Should we still take the same action? And what's really interesting and how this relates is that in 2011, they came out with entirely new guidelines. So, which shifted from don't expose your infant, toddler, young preschool child to any allergens until they're 4 to 6 years old, to expose your infant between the ages of 6 and 12 months to every known allergen in your family, as well as the most common allergens if you are a family that has a predisposition to having allergies. This is a remarkable shift. Now, personally, this made my life so much easier because it meant not only my child turning 11 tomorrow, but my youngest, who then came around a couple years later, we got all the allergens in before they were a year old and realized that they were not born with any of the allergies the way I was. So that's fantastic. But this is such a stark example of more data in meant we had to make more decisions or new decisions from those data and resulted in a very different conclusion, a very different claim. Does that mean the initial claims, the initial conclusions were wrong? No, we did the best we could with the data that we had. And that's how it always is when we are working with data. It's why sample size is important. It's why thinking statistically is important. It's why helping our students critically think and actively participate in making sense of data is so important. So, just a little story that I wanted to share. If you are interested in more of these sort of real world stories of how we can help students connect with data, if you have not yet, I encourage you to join us this Sunday for the 3 steps to rock analyzing interpreting data this year. Free masterclass. I'll put the link below. Would love to see you there. If you can't make it, register anyway. You can get the video for for a couple days following next week. And more is to come on the horizon. We're getting closer to announcing what's coming in December. So great to see you. Hope you have a wonderful Thursday, and I'll talk to you soon.